What is up? What is up? Another day, another 10 cents. We back, Black in the building. It's another day. It's Super Bowl Sunday. I'm pretty sure it's a bunch of niggas at the church right now. So for all you niggas that's at the church, niggas trying to hear and sing they solo and shit so they can get home for Super Bowl. And if it's a black church, you already know, shit, black churches don't end till 3 o'clock. That's a 9 to 5 job. You should get paid as much hours as you put in going to that motherfucking church. You already know I'm gonna hit y'all up with it. I'm gonna hit y'all up with it in a minute, but shout out to everybody that's at the Court Plantation that gotta work on this day. Today is not really a big deal. I used to think it was a big deal. We would all go over to my mom's house and drink and watch the motherfucking Super Bowl, but you know, mom is gone now, so I really don't too much focus on it as much as I used to. These niggas is paid and I am not. Shout out to everybody that is at the Court Plantation right now, having to focus on making that bread so they can get fed later on, pay those bills. Shout out to the people that make a big deal out of Super Bowl Sunday. But, you know, we got a lot of shit to talk about. I'm going to cram it in because I got other shit to worry about, not just the goddamn Super Bowl. They got to pay bills and shit. So, shout out to everybody that's out there at the Court Plantation. Shout out to all my finessing niggas. There's probably a nigga right now asking a whole bunch of niggas what they doing for Super Bowl so they can go over their house, eat up all their shit. Drink up all the drinks, eat up all the eats, and then go the fuck home. So shout out to all them niggas out there too. And if you at the Court Plantation right now, shout out to you, much power and respect. I already know it's not easy. It is very difficult to be at the Court Plantation right now, especially on the Super Bowl Sunday. That's time, I guess, for your family and friends. Maybe time to do what you need to do. We gonna get into a lot of shit, man. This racism shit don't stop, so for all you suck-ass motherfuckers that think, oh, it's Super Bowl Sunday, today's the day where racism stops. No, nigga, racism does not stop. It keeps going. So don't ever think that. Don't ever even have that type of mentality where you think that the shit stops. Because the shit don't stop. That's a fact. Shout out to everybody that is understanding of the knowledge and studying. Because there's a lot of shit that's going on. I'm going to talk about all the racism shit. I'm talking about all the executive orders that Joe Biden put into action, but none of it had anything to do with foundational black Americans. So I think that's kind of odd. You want to give 30 million immigrants or 10 million immigrants free citizenship, but you ain't doing shit for foundational black Americans who put you in office. Once again, we get used for the bullshit, and then they go ahead and do what the fuck they want to do. So shout out to all you suck ass niggas that think vote is gonna really change shit. It changes shit, all right. Just like they say prayer changes things. Yeah, right. We'll see, depending on who you pray to. I'm talking about some shit that I've seen on Twitter and witnessed on Twitter. I'm like, man, this ain't cool, man. You know what I mean? Talk about a lot of shit, man. There is a lot of things that I think we need to be aware of and have some type of understanding and know what the fuck is going on. So shout out to all my people that's studying, reading, coming up with new and inventive ideas for themselves, using their intellectual property the right way and not giving it away at the corporate plantation for free. Stop trying to make these people rich. They already rich. Stop trying to make them rich. And shout out to all and shout out to all my niggas that think that if you just pray and do the right thing, you know, these people will definitely do right by you. Fuck out of here. You know I'm gonna hit y'all with it. Did Jesus come back? Aw, damn. The nigga didn't come back today. Y'all done did all that praying and hooping and hollering and shouting. Jesus said, Jesus. That bullshit. You see, racism is still here. You should be trying to establish a system of justice and not do all that and all this other bullshit. But then the racism shit is still here. That shit ain't going nowhere. So shout out to all the motherfuckers that understand that racism, white supremacy is in full effect. And if you're trying to replace that system, you should be trying to establish a system of justice and not keep it going. That's a fact. We're going to get into it. Man. I was seeing a lot of shit on Twitter, man. The first thing I want to get on is this officer, Clyde Kerr III, man. He was a black officer, man, and he ended up killing himself. And I think, allegedly, this is what they said. He could have got murdered. He could have got set up because he started airing out a lot of those blue walls, dirty laundry. Because you protect the blue wall. And he didn't like how he felt. He didn't like what was going on. He didn't like how black people were getting treated in this country. And he was a police officer, and he didn't like it. And I think it really had a toll on his mental, because I think he was not feeling the bullshit. And it's so funny, man, because right now, why we talking about that, right? We talking about stuff like that, but why we talking about that? I don't think nobody really cares. And the reason why nobody really cares is because I think racism is only going to be a problem when it starts affecting people's everyday life the way it should. Some people it doesn't affect. If they got a little bit of money, got a little bit of success, then they feel like, man, I ain't worried about no racism. That ain't gonna stop me. But for the average person that it really bothers, you do kind of take stock of inventory and be like, damn, man, this is some bullshit. Now, of course, the great distraction in the year of Black History month of February, they got all these distractions. They got Valentine's Day. They got the Super Bowl. They got President's Day. They got all these things. It's 28 days. They basically, all right, niggas, hurry up and get your shit out the way so we can go on and move the fuck on. Because the dominant white society don't give a fuck about no Black history, because they know if you really start talking about Black history, then that, I would say that it puts on blast the falsities of white history and all the bullshit that they have going on. Like teaching motherfuckers that George Washington never told a lie, and Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, and all this rhetoric and bullshit that fits their plight, fits their narrative, to make it seem like, no, that was so long ago. That's why they always, anytime you bring up slavery or reparations, they always make it seem like slavery was 800 years ago. Y'all notice that? Ask the average dominant society person about slavery. They'll basically make it seem like that shit was 800 years ago, 900 years ago. And it's so funny, but when it comes to the Jewish community, the white Jewish community, that didn't even happen in on the United States of America incorporated soil. That happened in Europe, but we still paying reparations to the white Jewish community as we speak. Nobody seems to think otherwise. Hell, they had such a stronghold on Nick Cannon, he couldn't speak no facts. I'm telling you, still to this day, I'd have been like, well, if I was wrong, show me where I was wrong. Show me the books, show me the facts of where I was wrong. But what happens is they fatten you up and they give you the accoutrements, the money, the cars, the clothes, the shoes, and they racial showcase confused. They give you that so you can kind of be like, oh, okay, this is what success is about. But then in the back, they like, as long as you don't go against what we say. That's why now they giving him his show back. They made him do an apology tour and bring the rabbi on there and talk. I'm so sick and tired of motherfuckers allowing these white Jewish people to talk so blindly and falsely about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You know, that shit is getting old, man. It is. It's getting old. You're like, well, why is it getting old? Because, nigga, it is. Like, what do you mean? It's getting old. See, we need to understand that we gotta protect us. Stop getting distracted by all this other stuff. There's nothing wrong with enjoying the Super Bowl and watching basketball and football and baseball and watching your little entertainment. But understand that it's entertainment. It's not real. Understand that those people that are on TV, they are not going to fight for you. They're not going to go against their boss, just like you're not going to go against your boss at your corporate plantation. That's why there's a book called $40 Million Slave. I got that book. I haven't read it yet. You better understand that this shit is real. And I'm not talking about like, Jesus is real. That bullshit. And that's some shit that a nigga told you. You don't know if that's real. But I can tell you that racism and white supremacy is real. Go read The ISIS Papers by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. Go read Black Labor, White Wealth by Dr. Claude Anderson, or The Black History Reader. Or go read Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome by Dr. Joy DeGruy. Go read Harriet Washington's Medical Apartheid. Go read The Rising Tide of Color. Go read these books, man, and it'll break it down. Go read the Negro Project about Margaret Sanger's goal to exterminate and depopulate melanated people on this planet. Y'all need to go read these books, man. They did tell you how real racism and white supremacy is. Genetic annihilation. But for some sort of reason, we think that any distraction we get, it kind of gets us away. And I understand that. I'm the same way too. I'm the same way. I have to catch myself sometimes. Like, that shit's not real. That's why when I watch basketball, I'm very subjective. Like, this is kind of boring. What I don't like about basketball, they made it where they want more Europeans in basketball. You can tell. Because the way basketball is structured, it's more for Europeans, not for black folk. That's why they're changing the infrastructure of how the NBA is played. You know what I'm saying? They want to bring it back to its essence of what they think its essence is. And they think the essence is the 60s and the 50s. Sprinkle a couple of niggas and have all white boys. But let's just bring it back to reality. If you remove melanated brothers from the NBA, nobody will watch that shit. Period. Don't nobody want to watch a whole bunch of wannabe Larry Birds on the motherfucking court. Straight up. But I digress. You know, you see a lot of this shit, man. I was on Twitter, and this nigga had a picture of Jesus Christ, right? With the thorns and shit. He was proud to show it. I tweeted, y'all niggas are killing me. This nigga got a picture of Mark Gasol tattooed on his chest. These Spaniards don't give a fuck about no niggas, especially after the Moors ruled Spain. They know who the fuck niggas are. And I simply said, my question is, why do we praise the people that praised us back in the day? Why are we praising them and exalting and lifting them up when they worshiped us back in the day? They worship us to this day. That's why they give you Jesus Christ, Cesare Borgia, the Spaniard, and then they back there doing kundule and practicing Ifa and voodoo and voodoo and Santeria, and they practicing all that other shit. Just like I told you about this movie I was watching on Hulu, and it was about it's called The Tax Collector, and it's about these Latino gangs. They deal dope and shit like that. Well, one of the Latinos, he was getting ready to go kill these major Latino gangs or whatever, and he was doing Santeria before he did it. Santeria, that's what he was doing. And that fucked me up because I was like, man, if we only knew where our religions are and our ancient African sciences, they know what it is. That's why they go studying and tell you not to study and be making it fearful for you, so you can be bucking your eyes talking about eyes don't do no voodoo. Fuck out of here, man. Motherfuckers better wake up. I'm pretty sure a lot of motherfuckers today at the grocery store, you feel me, getting all their food and, getting everything. Hey, I used to do it too. My mom was like, we used to do that shit too. At the time, I wouldn't even be watching football. We'd just be laughing and joking and drinking and shit. But there comes a time where you have to wake up and not smell the roses. You better wake up and smell the stench in the air. And it's not a good one either. And you have to understand exactly what's going on. I was even watching Shannon Sharp, and I like what he said. And it's so funny. And the reason why I say it's so funny is because Shannon Sharp was basically telling, I'm going to play a clip of that. Shannon Sharp was basically like, it's so funny how they rolled Deshaun Stevenson because he was standing next to Farrakhan. And then Skip basically like, well, he is anti-Semitic. Shannon Sharp was like, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is black athletes can't stand next to the people that they want to stand next to, but Tom Brady can stand next to Donald Trump all he wants, and he's never criticized, vilified, none of that. Oh, he broke it down, man. He broke it down, and I said, man, I like that. I'm gonna try to see if I can get. Let me see if I can get Shannon Sharp. Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can get Shannon Sharp on. Let's see if I can get him on Farrakhan. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to see. Trying to apply. Hold on, read. Shannon Sharp reveals his conversation with Steve Jobs following his defense of this. Shannon Sharp. Check skip about. Here we go. Here, let me see.
Mr. Kraft and Coach Belichick.
Here. And I want y'all to hear this, man, because see, what they try to do is make it about anti-Semitism. And they don't try to make it about what the story is about and what the and keeping it in context. They try to take you on an alligator road. Well, he's anti-Semitic, all that stuff. One thing I'm gonna tell y'all they never call Farrakhan is a liar. They never say he's lying. All they say is he's anti-Semitic and he speaks hate, but they never say he's lying. Let's see. Let's listen to this. Let's see.
I think the thing is, had Mr. Kraft and Coach Belichick been wearing the hat, it might be a different story. They're kind of like behind the scenes, where like a lot of prominent black athletes have to be behind the scenes with Mr. Farrakhan. That's what you have to do.
Yep, and that is true. You can't be out there like that. You gotta keep it under your hat when it comes to Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
You remember they was trying to cancel folks this summer. You remember Deshaun Jackson, Skip? Howie Roseman and the owner called him in because he said something about what Mr. Farrakhan had said. You remember that? Now, Tom Brady, that ain't gonna ever happen to a white athlete.
Okay. Ooh. See? There it is. Keep it on the topic at hand. That'll never happen to a white athlete. See, and watch what Skip does as a Caucasian. He's gonna take you on the alligator road. Well, it doesn't matter. Now watch this.
Okay, I got it. But Mr. Farrakhan's views are obviously anti-Semitic.
What about President Trump? So,
ooh, see, that's how you keep it on the subject at hand. Because what does him allegedly being anti-Semitic have to do with what he just said? All he had to say was, yeah, you're right. No matter what their views are, Trump's views or Minister Louis Farrakhan's views are, you should be able to stand next to who you want to stand next to. You shouldn't have to stand behind the scenes. And if you're a black player, you do. If you're a white player, you can be out up front and bold about it.
Anti-Semitic.
No, I got it. I'm just putting them in the same ballpark.
But my thing is, with President Trump, anti-black, anti-Semitic, so we gonna weigh more, one weighs more than the other.
We can't. And obviously, Minister Farrakhan's anti-white.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You see how he kept saying, well, anti-Semitic, anti-black, it doesn't matter. He's standing next to this person standing next to this person. What are you saying? Well, he's also anti-white. So he's anti-Semitic and he's anti-white. That's weird. But his teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, said, if you put a clean glass next to a dirty glass, you don't have to say that that glass is dirty. You're going to know something is different about it when you put a clean glass next to it. That's a fact.
but you can say they're the same.
People automatically assume he's anti-this when he's pro-black. No, I don't got to be against this, but if I'm for that.
Shout out to Shannon. Everybody's assuming that he's anti-Semitic, but nobody really sits down and talks to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan about what his issues are. Everybody just says he's anti-Semitic. He's anti-Semitic. But nobody never calls the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan a liar. That's what you'll never hear white people say, he's a liar. They always say he speaks, hey, but what is he lying about? Tell me where he's lying. Tell me where he's lying. That's what I'm saying. But they don't say that. They always say he's anti-Semitic. He's anti-Semitic. First of all, the white Jewish community, no, you guys know you are not the Semitic people. Stop it. You can't, first of all, if we want to say who Jesus is and all this other bullshit, first of all, and it's in Africa, y'all can't survive in Africa. You are Caucasians from the Caucasus Mountains. So you know already who you are. You are Khazarian Jews. So stop acting like you are the chosen people. And if you are, why don't you just go back to Jerusalem? Why don't you go back to Israel? Wherever the fuck y'all from, since y'all love it so much? I don't understand that. Because this definitely isn't your land. That's why I don't like that song. This land is your land, this land is my land. No. If white people are like, this land is your land, we gonna keep it at that. When they talking about us, this is not your land. It's our land. We were here first. You better go read They Came Before Columbus.
For my people being educated. I'm for my people being prosperous. I'm for my people having rights and protection. That don't mean I'm against you having that. That means I just want that for my people like you get that for yours.
Ooh, spitting facts. See, that's what I'm saying. Being pro-black does not mean that you're anti-white. That just means you're about your people. And see, people always get that misconstrued. But my thing is, how could I be anti-white when I control no ships, no cakes, no pies, no resources, no oil, no minerals, no nothing? I don't control anything. No wealth, no industries, no corporations. So how could I can't oppress you when I don't control any major resources? This is the thing that they always get black people trapped in. Well, black people are racist too. No, sir, we're not racist. Racism is an institution. It's a team sport. It's about the competition of resources, to use those resources to oppress another racial group. And guess what? We're the racial group that's being oppressed because we don't have or possess any resources. We don't own any wealth. 90% of the nation's wealth is held in the dominant white society. That's where 90% of the nation's wealth is being held. So how the fuck can we be racist? Every other racial group will tell you that because that's what they're socialized to tell you. But then when you go in the neighborhood, you see East Indians and shit with liquor stores and shit and gas stations. You don't see us. You don't see nobody that look like us at all. But you see them in your neighborhoods. Why are they there? You never even wondered that? You know why? Because they're allowed to be there.
Hey, look, man, you know why I'm called anti-Semitic? I don't hate Jewish people. What I hate is their inordinate control over the lives and the minds and the thinking and the speaking of black intellectuals. We got brilliant men that can't talk like men because they're afraid of tenure in some doggone college. They're afraid that somebody will pull a paycheck out from under them.
That's a fact. That is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan speaking right now. And that is him basically saying that black folk can't even say what they really want to say because we're afraid of losing our money and our paycheck. That's why when you break out the corporate plantation, you have to acquiesce, conform, bow down, bend the knee. You have to do all those things, whether you like it or not. I don't care what type of a nigga you talk about you are and all this other shit. Go on that corporate plantation, see how you act. you're going to act the way they want you to act.
How in the hell can you have a united front when your people are sold out to other forces that don't want no unity among us?
Thank you. And they don't want no unity among us. That's a fact. Let me tell you something. They know dividing those Hansel and Gretel crumbs to black folk and racial showcasing confusing us, they know that works. So that's why they do what they do. I'm telling you, that shit ain't gonna stop. Why you think it's gonna stop? That's why today, everybody will go out of their way, in my personal opinion, everybody will go out of their way to be glued and locked into a distraction that's not meant for you, like the NFL. And you'll do that. You know why you'll do that? Because distractions are the matrix. And you can live inside the matrix and be cipher and be like, I know this isn't real, but my mind is telling me that it's real and it feels good to me, so I'm going to go with it. And that's all good. Hopefully, when niggas get their ass kicked enough and get kicked in the teeth enough times and understand that there is no wealth for us unless we take it back, we pull our resources together and work together. If we're not doing that shit, supporting black businesses and doing the necessary things that we need to do as a people to be taken seriously, we're going to always fall into the hands of the distractions. When niggas start judging niggas off of material gains and not mental gains, you're going to always have problems. That's why niggas hang around niggas and then the first thing a nigga do is be worried about the wrong shit. How much money a nigga got? Oh, this nigga's broke. Or, oh, trying to be nosy. I've never been into that type of situation. I don't like hanging out with people to know what type of business they got. I'm not into none of that. That's why I warn by myself the majority of the time, because I don't care about what you got going on personally. I stopped caring about that shit a long time ago. You know when I stopped caring? When my black ass had to keep getting up and going to this corporate plantation, or I can't eat and I can't pay bills. That's when I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I ain't got time to be worried about no other niggas. Period. I done hung around plenty of niggas that got triple more than what I got. A lot of people, they be worried more about you than you worried about them. Because a lot of people, especially black folk, we have this innate problem of wanting to be in competition with each other. And then when it comes time to being in competition with other racial groups, we bow down and we try to join forces with them and then shit on our own people. And I don't understand why we do that, because to me, you're defeating the purpose of coming together and unifying when you're more convinced in your mind that you could amalgamate, and not even amalgamate, just be around other racial groups and try to link up with them instead of trying to link up with your own people. That's crazy sometimes. Now I get it. Every black person ain't meant to work with every black person. And I understand that. And you're going to have to work with other racial groups. But when you're trying on purpose to go work with other racial groups but not work with your own people, that's a problem. That's like a nigga just wanting to read about European history and that's it. And don't want to know nothing about his own history, but want to just keep reading about European history. There has to be something in you that's like, why the fuck is I'm still... Okay, learn about them, but you want to learn about yourself too. You want to learn about what the fuck your people did. You can't just learn about them. That's why it's not good for us to keep teaching our melanated brothers and sisters about Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and all. These are white, these are Caucasians, and it's their system that's rigged for them to be successful. So if you don't know the social game rules, there's half of it right there. I don't praise a motherfucking Bill Gates. Motherfuckers act like Bill Gates grew up on Skid Row. Bill Gates grew up nice. He was a lot of that time to study and read and build computers and shit. They try to make it seem like he's some type of phenomenon or genius, but he was placed there. These are all systems of control. You better go watch The Matrix. Motherfuckers don't be paying attention to that shit, but I do. All systems of control. You know what I'm gonna try to find? I'm gonna try to play this before I get up out of here. This officer that basically, you know, I'm gonna see if I can find it. Deputy Clyde Kerr. I want to see. I want to see what he says. Hold on. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it.
It is January 29th. 2021, and by my clock, 9:17 in the morning, and this is my last day at work. So Didn't give a notification, obviously, because this is the notification. But it's not my last day. It's just my last day working my job I love. So I just want to speak on one subject and talk on that, and then it will go from there. But I'd like to say I have the floor right now, and I would like to not be heard, but just listen. So, Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, Green Lives Matter, Brown, this, that, it's the completely wrong thinking. Because even when you say lives matter, you're specifically saying a particular group of lives, like black lives, just black lives. You know, the wording in our mind frame, in our perception, in our scope, and the lens that we're seeing it through is that's the wrong thing. Drop all your other phrases, whatever mottos and catchphrases. This is it. Only life matters.
Now that I'd have to disagree with, because the dominant white society has shown that black lives don't matter. So, and they have shown us over and over again through documented history, and not just that, through their actions physically and mentally, how they've raped, robbed, pillaged, lynched, and redlined, gentrified. They've done so many things to black folk to put us behind the line the last 450 years. It is clear to say that only white lives matter and that black lives don't matter. So I don't agree with that. But let's hear. Let's play on.
Only life matter. Not only lives, but only life. Because I'm leading a life. You're leading a life. We're going through life together. We're not going through lives together. We're going through life. It's weird because it's singular and it refers to mine. Like, I value my life as you should yours.
Yeah, I understand in a way, but I'm sorry, I got to keep it in context. And to bring it back twofold, we can say that, but clearly it has been shown through time and time again. Trayvon Martin, Philando Castile, Alton Sterling, Mike Brown, Walter Scott, Sandra Bland. Need I go on? Tatiana Jefferson, Breonna Taylor. Need I go on? You know, Oscar Grant. There's so many that's proven that black lives don't matter, and that's why that's come up. But I understand where he's coming from. But a lot of it is, in my interpretation, a lot of it is police rhetoric, because that's what they've been told.
It's not I value my lives, because I'm only leading one. So it might have different aspects of it in different parts, but I mean, I'm only leading one thing going in one direction. So I don't understand why there has to be constant division. If we start seeing that only life matters.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing, too, when you're dealing with a lot of these people, man. They get to talking and babbling a little bit about why is it like this. And a lot of it is because of the social engineering of, law enforcement. They have you like, oh, no, it's not about race and all. No, it's always about race. Straight up.
Starts inside of somebody to when they put you back in the ground, that time in between, that matters. No argument about it. No argument about it. The ones that we get here, what are we pouring into them, man? Our children are watching snuff films, basically people getting killed on the regular, and we're broadcasting it to them like it's the thing to do. We are in error, man, and it pains me that it's gotten to this point. But like, what's gonna give if people don't just start living accordingly to what they're supposed to do? Because we done tried every other kind of way. I mean, people are just leaning on their own understanding and doing whatever they want to do. Cool. Look at the ripple effect of where we're at. This is real simple. Life. What is the opposite of life? Death. There's only two. So, I mean, is there going to be a group that says only death matters?
See, like I said, y'all need to really listen. See, this is what happens when you join a group like law enforcement. thinking you're going to make a change, and it plays a mental toll on your body and on your mental health, and it has you feeling a certain type of way. And what I'm listening to now, and this is just this is the first time I listen to it. What I'm listening to now is a lot of law enforcement, blue lives, blue line rhetoric bullshit. But in your heart of heart, you know where a lot of this racism and anti-black racism comes from. But what ends up happening is you've been up under it so long, you feel like, well, I'm trying to do a service, but that's not your system. So you just need to just keep it a buck and be like, look, man, I was doing this to get a paycheck. This seemed like an easy paycheck. Looked like I could help a few people. I don't know that brother's. I didn't know his plight. I know allegedly he killed himself. But what it seems a lot to me, there's a lot of guilt there for being a part of that system, knowing that it's a racist institution that reconfines and recontextualizes the racism and remix it in such a way where you're like, well, that's not racism. They're just doing their job and he shouldn't resist. And, you know, he's not saying all that, but when you start talking about, well, what's the opposite of life and what's the opposite of death? And I get it. And why life matters. When people start saying that shit, you need to look beyond that lens and be like, well, we know life matters, but in the last 450 years, our lives haven't mattered. Our ancestors' lives haven't mattered. So what are you saying? And a lot of that is, it's like black folk that join the corporate plantation, and then the white folk that are in charge give them some breadcrumbs. And then what ends up happening is now they get to start talking in the room. They start talking that corporate jargon in terms of they're defending the system. Well, you have to understand, you know, and you know, corporations, they can't really help everyone. They start saying all that shit, and that's why it's like that.
It's a transition to get to that. We got to deal with the portion of that to get to where you are. But only afterlife matters. We haven't even started living our lives accordingly, like what we're supposed to be doing, and we're our lives are purposeful and they're meaningful, and we are not treating each other with the respect and the love that we're supposed to, because we do not see each other as we are.
And I'm not gonna keep playing on. It's a lot of babbling. I just thought I'd let y'all listen to a little bit. And this is what happens when you join an institution like this. So this should be a lesson to every black person that joins the corporate plantation, because you have to go there, get your paycheck, and get the fuck out of there. Because then you start feeling guilty, you start using their talking points, babbling and all over the place. You know, the brother killed himself, but goddamn, the brother was mentally disturbed because he knew a lot of the racist shit that was going on within that department, and he couldn't do nothing about it. Probably the majority of the time he didn't want to do nothing about it because he was afraid of losing his job. So I'm gonna tell you this right now, man. As you watch this Super Bowl, try to pick out all the racist nuances within the system of the NFL. Just watch it. Watch everything that they do. Watch everything. Point out the different anti-black racist bullshit that goes on in the NFL. Just watch it and just point it out and keep those little tidbits to yourself so you can have a different understanding of how racism, white supremacy is involved in everything. 9 areas of people activity: labor, law, education, economics, entertainment, religion, sex, war. You know what I'm saying? It's involved in all that. It takes over everything. And if you're not trying to replace the system of racism, white supremacy, and establish a system of justice, then all you are doing is wasting your motherfucking time. But hey, man, I gotta go. I got shit to do. I hit y'all up on Tuesday. Y'all know what it is. Hey, for all them niggas that's still at church and up there singing and trying to hurry up with the offering and the service and shit so they get home and cook for the Super Bowl, hey, man, do your thing. But for everyone that's like, while you're watching the Super Bowl, if you're around any niggas that's standing up and putting a hand over their heart during the national anthem, guilty nigga, you a Sambo coon telling about the gun line, Hayward Shepherd ass nigga, and I ain't fucking with you. I'm out. Peace.